My name's Arnold White Jr. I am a candidacy for Buffalo Lake District. Uh, my father is Arnold White. He's a veteran, passed on. My mother is Cynthia Starr. She's also from Buffalo Lake District. I am at my mother's residence right now. And right now, I have worked throughout my lifetime as a tribe member here. I worked, geez, I got 11 years at casino level. Just worked different capacities of the casino. And I worked at Tuash Tribal School for 9 years. And I worked at SWO Gaming Commission for a year. Just this past election or past, I did serve in tribal council for 2 years. So I got 24 years of 25 years, including that, as working within the tribe. I went to high school, assistant high school, graduated from Tuash Tribal School, went on to, it was back then, it was a community college, system after community college, obtained an associate's degree in carpentry. From there, I 05, 06, went to United Tribes Technical College in Bismarck. My vocation is tribal management. I took some courses there, year and a half, 05, 06. I got involved with the tribal management. I was the senator of the student senate, representing tribal management. So what that was is that a senator is you report to the club and present everything from the tribal management level. What the tribal management wants, needs, get approved. So that's where I started my leadership. And 06, the executives are ready to graduate, and as body president at that time, I want each and every one of you to be executive. So I grabbed the application. It's just a simple page. My name, my tribe, my GPA, my vocation, everything. So I put down president. So I campaigned within the campus and won that election. So that's where I started as my leadership, a senator in tribal management, and then student senate president. So I wanted to move on and do the tribe some good as a person and as a leader. So I came back in 16, ran for office, got elected. January 17, we took office. So that's where I started from. My education, my employment, my little bit of history of my background of leadership.
Great, thank you so much. So now we'll get into the question and answer part. So the first question is, what does transparency in tribal government mean to you? And how will you work towards transparency in tribal council if you're elected?
Well, the meaning is that, we need to be honest with each other. And that's the meaning of that in fairness, as holding that position. You can't hide any transparency from nobody. You got to come together as a whole and work and make the best decision within the district, within your district that you represent. That's what you're there for, is to make a voice, and being honest. You can't hide. Otherwise you're going to get caught.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you think about councilmen who vote against their district's motions?
I was reading that, I know a few times they didn't get after me, but you got to speak up. You got to your voice. I said, yes, I am. So what that is it all depends what language, because some people have their different languages of pointing things out. One word could be a whole different thing, and another word could be a whole different thing. It's all language, how you want to say it. Um, is that, you know, it's not wishes, you know, because right now you're going to get in trouble, or you know, you might get in trouble of why'd you do that, you know. We didn't say speak that clearly. It all depends, because some people are scared, or how can I say it, or you know, I might get in trouble for not saying it correctly. You got to speak out and say it correctly. That's what I think of district motions.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, do you know what racism means? I don't just mean from other races, but towards our own enrolled members. Why are off-reservation members such a threat, and how do you plan on addressing racism within our tribe?
No, that's a good question, because you know, I went to high school and system high school, and I seen it happen. You know, there's nothing towards me or any other members I went to school there, but we had a in the 80s, before tribal school even thought, we had a population of tribal members. We dominated in the 80s, that all of our members had better skills than these non-members, you know, and I seen it, and we were competing we're against them. Why are we better than them? I seen it in the high school level. Now it's still going on, and within that school. But you know, system high school, you know, I see it. But now we see it with now. You know, why are our members against each other? You know, why is this happening? I, you know, this to this for my older son. You know, I seen it happen, that this athletic director didn't address my son as an athlete. You know, and I confronted him. You know, because my son had dark skin. Is that what the problem is? You know, I seen it. I just speak up for him. You know, he was kind of shy and not outspoken, but you know, and the next year he was that non-coach or athletic director. He went on and on about my son. You know, I seen it, and he said, "Why is that happening?" I said, "They're different than us." You know, I seen it happen, and you know, that's what why we so against each other like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that answer. Moving on to a totally different topic.
Yes,
There's been kind of a lot of talk about going from salary to stipends for tribal council people. Would
yes.
you be willing to accept a stipend for your time instead of a salary, and why or why not?
Um, you know, it's worth the money, which means that my experience being there, it is worth. It's not. It's worth the money, the time and effort you put in, and the long hours you put in. It's probably less money, but I think it's probably worth the money, because you don't know when you're going to go in session. The chairperson could say we're going in session at 6 o'clock in the evening. Be there at 10. It all depends. It's worth the money, or is it worth the stipend? But I think if it's worth the stipend, that Chaba leadership or a Chaba council person should be able to work on the outside to make their needs met. Is that you have another income? Because it depends on what the stipend is. Is it going to be 1,000? Is it going to be 2,000? Depends what the stipend is. Because each one of us have bills to be paid.
That's true. Okay, do you support cultural preservation, specifically our Dakota language, history, artifacts, and art?
Yes, I do, because I do speak, not a fluent Dakota language speaker, but I do understand Dakota language. Being that I did work, you know, my employment at Torch Mazina, I did learn some keywords up there, you know, what the meaning of, you know, well, our language has to, you know, there's a few of them elders left with our Dakota language. What I was understanding is that, you know, that's a hard thing to get, is our language. But just to the fact that, you know, we have our hip program going up there, you know, at that, I remember that when that took place, you know, that's going to make some money for us, you know, when it gets going, whenever it gets going again. But you know, I've been paying attention and listening yet. But you know, they showed us scarves, hats, everything that hemp program could do, and we can make some money off that.
Oh yeah. Didn't you? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Didn't they used to require that people working at TZ they have to take some language classes? Did
Yes,
they, did you have to do that while you were there?
I never did, but it was opportunity. I mean, what I learned from Dakota language speakers out there. Um, I caught on to like I didn't really know the flag song, but I do it. I know it now, the meaning, the words, and everything. Because one time they used to when I was employed there, used to have an outgoing flag song and incoming flag song. But I grabbed the drum and the sticks, and I sat down in high school and I started singing loud and clear that all of so one student came and helped me, you know, but some of them students don't even know that flag song, you know, don't even know the honor songs, you know. I could sing all, I mean, majority all of them, but
Okay.
that's the thing we need to keep is our Dakota language.
Yep. Okay. What do you think of allowing voting by mail-in ballot for all tribal members?
uh you know, I was looking at that one too. That was a good one. uh you know, I have there's quite a few members I live off reservation. I know that for a fact is that, you know, I have family members of my own brother. You know, he's a child member. He is a district member. But you know, they should be counted, or at least unless they are counted. But my brother has been asking, when is the tribe going to help me? You know, I'm a child member here. You know, his kids are child members, but we have at least 4,000, 6,000, maybe higher that I know. I mean, that
Yeah,
probably don't have the resources of what we have here.
yeah, we have about 4,000 members of voting age on reservation, and we have 6,000 members of voting age off reservation. So there's more off than on.
Yep. But we have the resources here on the reservation within the tribe, and they don't have anything with like like my brother in Rapid City. He doesn't have the same resources we have here. You know, pantry. You know, maybe they do have a pantry out there, but I don't. But we have the tribe here that could, anybody could lean on. Excuse me. But you know, that's his that's where he wanted to live. So,
Yep.
but I support him as much as I can.
So you think everybody should be able to vote?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, as soon as they're head counted,
Yeah.
you know, because that census, you know, I heard about. I think it was somebody that said that census in 2010 they were counted, something like that. I don't know where he was. I don't know where some of our members were living, or if they were counted then.
Yeah, that I think that came up for that because there was a lot of discussion about the CARES Act money.
Yep, right.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying is if you look on the Department of Treasury, they used our 2010 census numbers for who was living on reservation to determine
Correct.
that CARES Act money.
Yep,
So it left out a huge number of our population.
yep.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, it's reported that our grocery store has been losing money since it opened. The tribe has invested millions of dollars into the grocery store. What's your opinion on Dakota Crossing? And if we were to close it, what would we use the building for?
Um, we were part of leadership when that store came and built. Um, you know, we didn't actually know if this was going to be a crossing or grocery store. But as soon as you got the paperwork and everything filed, the freezer were in there. I said, this is going to be a store, our store. And so we're going to name it Dakota Crossing. You know, we came together. I remember that. And I know that on the north side, we talked about it, is that we had this discussion, is that we were trying to throw like a elderly health care in there on the north side. There's room on the north side, health care, elderly health care. So then we're trying to get the credit union in there. Credit unions, well, have some stipulations were in there at that time, and they couldn't do regulations. They couldn't do it. So we were trying to stick a fast, fast restaurant was in there. So that didn't happen. So we got this all this rum in the north side. If somebody ever walked in there, you could believe how many rooms. I mean, that's huge building for that. But uh, I know we went through a lot of general managers over the past 2 years. We got to hire this manager, that manager, but I, we should have. I don't know. There's things which we could have in that store, like I know we got a deli in there. I don't know how much money we are losing. I don't know if that's even the correct amount. If we're losing but I hate. I really didn't like that alcohol part. I really disagree with that. We're not. I don't know what if we're making money off alcohol or not. That was a big thing about getting our license. That was a huge thing. We got to get our license. So we got our license, liquor license. So now, how much are we bringing in on that liquor? If for probably close that part. We're not making probably. I don't know if we're even making anything. But probably today, a lot of elderly got their card. I see that, but but speaking of that, I know how that card came in place, but I was against that elderly getting alcohol and all that business, but that was their business. That was that card. It wasn't even meant to be that. I kind of know the full story on that card. There was an elderly back in elder Empress Room District that she was caring of foster care kids. She just went to the tribe, asked for $100, and that's what that card busted out. It was $50, now it's $150 now, or something like that. But that's the meaning of that. I guess so that's what I was hearing.
Okay, but back to the grocery store. Are you in support of keeping it open?
Yeah. Oh yeah, keep it open. I mean, because we can't close it down. I mean, because we're going to lose that revenue. The best. That's the best. That's the thing that we have to keep, is that we always been wanting our store. Back then, part of 2 stores when I was growing up. Jack and Jill's and we supported all them 2 stores. Now we have our own, and we got to keep our store going. We can't close it down. I do shop there. I do what I need to buy. But there's things that Crossings don't have, Keels has. Just things that, there's different items that Crossings needs to order, but the Keels has, there's people like that. What if Keels don't have, and I go to Crossings, so maybe they have it. That got to keep it open, got to get the revenue going. But I truly think they should be 24 hours. That's if we open 24 hours, I'm sure they can make a lot of revenue.
Okay. What kind of ideas do you have for economic development?
I sit on the Buffalo Lake District. Used to be the skating rink. Now it's the bowling alley. I sit on that board, but we used our monies for our business. To get our business turned around where it is now. When I was in part of leadership, they asked, you need to support us. I said, yeah, that's what I'm here for. But we got our monies. at that time when I made that motion for our business. So I turned our skating rink to a different business. So, you know, I am on that board, you know. But, you know, there wish there was other districts who would, you know, get different businesses going. That's what that money's for. You know, that, you know, there's money there. There's a grant there. But if districts come to one district, get the building going, like clothing or gloves or something, man, they're making a lot of money.
Okay. On to the next question. One of the biggest issues coming up in this fall's election will be our decline in revenues from our 3 casinos due to the pandemic. In light of declining revenues, what programs or projects need to be reduced and or replaced? And how will you make a significant difference from the other candidates running against you?
Well, you know, we always depended on casinos. You know, back then we didn't have any casinos in the 80s. You know, Sioux just opened in 88, 89 that I remember. But now we're leaning on casinos now for our revenue, you know. But there's like other departments probably on that receive casino monies. But, you know, we got our different programs that, you know, that has money. But, you know, we could have, oh, that's the next question I was going to ask. But I don't think we should be leaning on our casinos at all, you know, but that's where we get most of our revenue from, you know, our distributions from each district. I remember, you know, you get all that money.
Yeah, we have a significant part of our budget goes,
Yep.
You know, program support, and that comes out of gaming revenue. So
Yep. Right.
What are we going to do when we don't have the gaming revenue?
Yep. Where do we turn to? You know, there's no place to turn to.
Yeah, we kind of put all our eggs in one basket there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have any issues that you would like to work on as a tribal council person?
You know, we had this plan, you know, of our tribal jail that's supposed to be in the works. I don't know where we stand with our tribal jail, but that was the works 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, that we had sites picked out. One was by the Head Start, and that was they said no because offenders were too close to the Head Start. So that said no. So we had one by what else did we pick one? Oh, that was second site by the Head Start. The first site was Jesse Larson's on the south side there. That was the groundbreaking. They broke ground without asking or doing anything without you know. And then one of the employees from chairman's office at that time 2 years ago is, you know, where are you guys getting the water from? It's going to be $1 million or $2 million for the water tower. So that quit that out. So now the third site is the old TZ lot. They tore that old building down. If everybody knows, that was in a hurry. Cut that building down. Now, just the whole lot sits there. But there's water and power, and that was the site. Now, what, you know? But then there was is that, you know, we're trying to work on a culture center. My past colleague Elva at that time, he spoke up about culture center. You know, I remember that because there's land across from the connection. There's land, and we're supposed to. The idea was make a culture center there because a lot of all of our members could beat. Even my mother could beat, but you know, our take their beating there and sell it. That was the culture center supposed to be. You know, that was our plan. But everything was coming up in a hurry, and they were saying, "Well, we got to make a plan. Your term's going to end in a bit here, you know." And just like that, the election was here, and we're done. So we didn't. 2 years goes by quick. If you're trying to plan something, it goes by quick. You know, I guarantee that everybody that's run for office, man, I mean, good luck to everybody, but it goes by quick. By experience that, you know, just something that might come up. You might travel to Washington, or you might travel before you come back, you know, and take, you know, and you might have meetings again. So it's a job that you got to be on your feet. I mean, you got to be ready, because the chairman might call a meeting to order right then and there. You know, something might come up, get approved by different programs. They might need motions right away. What else? I was the culture center. Yeah, the culture center by the connection. What else did I write down? I wrote down some notes here that Central Center. Oh, I talked about Central Jail. I think that's about it. That was number 10. That's about it there.
Okay, let's move on to kind of a different, we'll just shift gears here a little bit. How do you view the purpose and function of tribal council? Is it a legislative or administrative body? Explain.
Administrative is the executives. Legislative, we the council, the leadership there, they make rules and laws. You got to prove the laws. You know, that's what I know as experience sitting there. You know, they don't make the executives makes. You know, they're an executive body. You know, so any changes or anything happens, you know, the executives bring them to tribal council, and it, you know, get them approved. So by sitting there and listening, you know, it's you know, I was fortunately, you know, to sit there and understand everybody how they speak out within their district level, you know. But something might really come up. It could take all night, you know. Once you're on these, I'm gonna shift gears, but when you're on these boarding committees, you know, these boarding committees, like 5 to 8, 5 to 9, you know, you don't know when you're going to be adjourned, because that you're the ex officio from that boarding committee, and you call the meeting to order and you adjourn it. But you could address what's addressing, but you know, you could take a few hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on what the main discussion is.
Okay. Have you read the duties and responsibilities of the council that's in the early legislative policy? Do you agree with what's written? And are you in favor of a written document that spells out the duties of council?
I did, you know, that's a constitution bylaws, you know, that's it's been, no matter of fact, we're having a meeting right now for their amendments, but I don't know what they are. But you know, I know there's amendment that we're not going to get that population of our members to get it passed. You know, we've been doing that for years, trying to get amendment passed. We need that population of members that I think it's like, what's the
30%?
30%, correct. I was thinking that 30%, you know, it's hard to get that. We need everybody here, especially on district days, you know. You get majority of them here for district days. You know, I see members that I never seen, or family members for years, and they're trying to show up for district days. Where were you when you're voting? I just come back for district days. What? You know, they should have that in district days. But of course, some elderly, you know, their grandkids or son and daughter could read that for them, and they could sign it and check it. You know, because I say, because back then, general council used to be a big thing. you know, we probably don't even get 800, if that, for general council now. You know, back, you know, I mean, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they used to give prizes away. Boy, you had members coming in out of woodworks trying to sign up for a good prize.
So speaking of the Constitution, are you in favor of how it's written, or do you think it should be amended?
I think should be amended. I mean, there's some changes that should be in there. Uh, like when you get, we're all Dakota on the reservation, and that Indians, that, you know, I don't know, that should be changed for some reason when you get sworn in by your right hand. Because that reads on the back of that Constitution, and you know, all Indians, you know, um, I don't know. It just sounds funny. It just sounds funny that, you know, we're called Indians.
Okay. Are you in favor of the current way that tribal council and executives are suspended and removed from office? And how would you make it a more fair, complete process?
No, you know, all 7 districts vote for their executive, who they want and who they choose to be voted in. I kind of disagree. I mean, that, you know, me, past sitting there is that, you know, we vote, you know, and why doesn't it go back to the respective districts and have them vote? They're the ones who put that person in, or I should say, we as district members or child members, take it back to the districts. And what do you guys think? You want to remove this person, or because we all put them in, not the council there. You know, that's what I think. Because once we vote in October, the child membership's voting. Then when the removal process, tribal council is removing. So it's kind of backwards, I think. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, because we put them in, then tribal council is taking them out. So ain't we kind of, I don't know, been there, done that. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't agree, you know, because each vote counts, you know, each vote really counts when it comes to tribal elections.
So you would change it to that the districts have to vote on it.
Yep, district have to vote. Just a simple check, you know, as a district meeting, you know, I need you guys, and then your council, then that council representative representing that district takes it back to council, and this is what my district wishes are, to remove or stay, you know, because they don't have that. You got to think quick. Is that, you know, what are you going to say if I do it this way, or what should I do if I don't do it their way? You know, it could go both ways. That's what I mean. Is that's what the district voted you in to make that. But I think it's just a form. Take it up to your district and say, here's the form of removal process. This person's going to get removed tomorrow, or, you know, just have a quick meeting, check. It's so simple.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all of your answers. That's the end of our questions. We usually like to leave a little bit of time at the end for you to say whatever you want to say to the voters. So please go ahead.
You know, all my work history, you know, it speaks for itself. You know, I've been there 2 years ago, you know, and it's a job for anybody that's interested in getting in tribal government and understanding and learning. You know, you know, from sitting there 2 years ago, you know, at least I got to understand how everybody speaks out for their respective districts and executives. You know, it's a learning process, I should say. At least if somebody wants to learn, jump in the ring and, you know, see how everybody speaks out. You know, I'm ready to take on the challenge again, see where I stand. You know, I'm I'll be hitting the trail, campaign trail quick here. I got my letter, so I'm ready to hit the campaign trail hard. So I won't be hitting door to door because you can't do that no more, I guess. But I got flyers and got buttons, so I appreciate all the Buffalo Lake District members. So I'm here to go at it again, see where I stand. I know. I just seen my son pull up when he's ready. He said, "Let's do this." I said, "Yeah." So he's all ready. So he's. I'm fortunately all my kids are up there with me on Buffer Lake, so I'm pretty thankful and blessed that my kids are up there with me. So I do the best. I try not to because some of them before we close, I like to see some of your boards and committees could on the same day, same time. As a leader, you got to choose what meeting are you going to go for, because you might chair that meeting or you might be ex officio of another meeting. And that happened to me, and oh man, that was pretty tough. And going to one meeting and chairing, and I had to excuse myself because I had to go to another meeting. You got to be on your toes, so back and forth. So you never know when the meetings and you'll get over. But I'd like to say good luck to each and all the candidates, and the executives running for office, stepping up to the plate, and best wishes to everybody. I'm pretty thankful that I've seen a lot of good names. As I always take is one vote. One vote speaks for it all. But I'm ready to hit the campaign trail.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, thanks for joining us. I will make a post when I've got some more scheduled and give everybody an update. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.